Hello there, fellow summoners. MaddogHT here, and we are going back in for another Alliance War. This is Alliance War number 10. So we have 3 wars left. It's coming into this last week, and these are critical wars, and we are facing DSVG, and there's a little preview, a little donut there. Yeah, we had some fun fights, and DSVG has 2 other YouTubers, one Buddy Lee and Swedeah, and they are in BG2 of DSVG, so I get to face some of their champs. Actually, most of my fights are their champs, which is kind of fun. So yeah, here's a little look at the map as far as their defense of what we saw. And the most interesting thing about their defensive plan and stuff is the bans. And I'm guessing they had gotten intel from others that basically was showing that we use a lot of white Magneto, which we often do. So they banned him with Ghost and Corvus. So yeah, we took that to our advantage. And I'll show you some things, and I won't go too much into it, but I just thought it was a really odd ban. Now DSVG, their map was the hardest map to plan for so far this season out of all, I mean, if any map I've ever had to plan for. So they did really well, but we still were able to come up with a solid plan, and I'm going up path 8. There wasn't a fight on the first node. We have Swedeah's rank 3 Sasquatch on this Rich Get Richer Fury node. It's got Mystic Ward and then personal space. So whoever has more buffs will get these passive Furies. And with the personal space, he's going to get Furies when you're close to him. He's also a unstoppable armor champ. So every 10 seconds, he's going to get that armor up. He's running max MD, so I have to be careful about that. I put on an invuln boost. I put on also a special 3 defensive boost in case I slip up and lose my invuln boost and then get L3'd. We're getting kind of cornered over here. It's alright. No unstoppable armor triggering there. And we also have flame on. So every time he's going to be throwing a special, as long as he's throwing, he'll get power stung. But you know, he's going to get those furies from having buffs and whatnot. But yeah. So there, I do miss a dex on the special one. Get the second one, give him a little love tap coming out, but he was still unstoppable from the Tanarak, and we get him down. So pretty simple, straightforward fight with Torch. Just gotta watch out for the MD and whatnot. And then we're gonna move up into section 2. I'm on path 3, and this is Swedeah's Hulkbuster. The Hulkbuster, he can be extremely dangerous. He is an unstoppable armor champ. He's going to get armor ups 3 ways. One, through every 10 seconds through the global, he'll get one. And it's like every 15 seconds, he'll get another armor up. And then towards the end, when he goes into like the 15% regen processing phase, he can get another armor up. Or I'm not even sure. That might just be an awakened ability. I'd have to check on that. I will in a second. But I had my invuln boost still going. And yeah, we're just going to try to keep an eye on both of those timers, the global and his armor up timer. Because basically every time like that, you can get an unstoppable passive, and we just don't want to be mid special, mid combo or anything like that. And then we're going to throw L2s as many as we can. We do have our science boosts, power back boosts on. You know, unless I'm critting and taking off those armors, you know, the damage is not going to be super great, but this fight is very safe. You know, Thing is immune to the armor breaks that Hulkbuster can apply onto you. He's immune to the shocks that he can apply onto you. So the damage that Hulkbuster can do to you is quite mitigated. But the damage that we can do back to him also is, because it's hard, because the ability accuracy, the offensive ability accuracy with all those armor ups as they continue to stack, you know, it does hurt. So I am fully ramped up at 60 Furies, and when a crit does get through, it's decent. Like I had a 21k crit on that last part of this last special 2. Here comes another, didn't crit. It looks like Assassins prevented his regen proccing, because I wasn't at max stacks and I didn't get the stun off the L2, but yeah, here I'm just waiting for an opportunity to make sure that Unstoppable passive doesn't come up. It does, and then we're just gonna smash him right here, and Swedeah's Hulkbuster is down. So yeah, not too bad a fight. 77 hits, not the fastest by any means, but very safe. It works, and the synergy with Torch, it's a great combo. They can cover a lot. Next up, we got an Iron Man Infinity War on node 42. This is the best defense, enhanced armor up, explosive personality, heavy-handed. So we cannot hit into this dude's block, and we do need to be very, very, very mindful of his passive armor ups, because if he gets to 4, we're basically gonna get auto blocked unless we're doing a heavy. And yeah, so just be mindful of that. We're just gonna do a lot of heavies, keep our temperature up. You know, every time we parry him, I'm gonna parry those and block those special beams simply just to get Smolder to make us do more damage. We did have a Power Start 1 boost on. I was almost a little bit too late there on that heavy, and it was mainly to just get to special 3 quicker, so that way I could just throw it, set and get Nova Flame active, since I've already used my Flame on the Sasquatch. But as you can see, I did regain my pre-fight, which was pretty awesome, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Yeah, he's flaming away. Should have just went in there, but I just didn't know exactly. I was gonna go in for a combo, but he was close to the 18% and wanted to be careful, and we get him down. So pretty simple, straightforward, normal Torch Iron Man Infinity War fight. Just couldn't hit into the block, so that's it. And then next up we got node 46. We got a Nimrod. It's on the buffet node, Chitinous, Thorns, and then the combat strike counter combat power rate node. Nimrod is a unstoppable armor champ. I still have that advanced power boost going. It's really not gonna do all that much, even with the science boost on, just because Nimrod, you know, if you throw the special in Titan, you get a cowardice. If you throw it in Blitz in the orange, you get a power drain. So you're gonna see I get to my special before I trigger any of the suppressions from the strike counter, but then I get a power drain, and the power drain lasts forever. And so even though I'm kind of waiting out the unstoppable armor, I'm just not going to be able to even get back up to special 1, I believe, even if I follow the strike counter. Now there, I wasn't paying quite enough attention to the armor. So the armor, 10 seconds on the global, it's 11 seconds on that one on the right, where whenever it expires, he switches modes manually, and whenever that mode switches manually, he also gains an armor up. So we have to be careful with that. But other than that, it's a pretty straightforward Nimrod fight. Thing is immune to shock, so you know, if I do get tagged by a special 2, it basically does nothing. He's just a tank, and he's immune to buffet, so I only have to deal with his original health pool. I can do whatever I want with dexing, specials, all that kind of stuff. Although again, you can see that I never got back up to a special 1, even with the power start, advanced power boost, the power back boost. Maybe if I would have thrown it in Blue Titan, got the cowardice, I would have been able to get back to special 1, but it's just, you just really don't need specials in this fight with Thing. You just need to get your rock stacks up, build up the Furies, and then just beat this dude into the ground. And be mindful of those armor ups and him potentially going passively unstoppable. Definitely, it's not the quickest fight, but this is a rank 4 Nimrod. Just blocking when I can. Keep my rock stacks up. I'm not going to be able to take that much damage. I could dex it as well. If he's in Eradicate, I'll definitely dex it because everything will be unblockable. But we're trying to wait this out. I probably could have just went and comboed him and finished him off. I was just in case I didn't get any crits or anything like that. But there we go. Nimrod goes down. And then we just move up to the island. We had extra energy to use. I'm going over to the right, but I'm going to head over to this Super Scroll to dump some energy, and then I'll come back later and move over to the Killmonger. This just helps to get the left side moving a little bit faster and getting some fights down when people have boosts going. So always a good thing to do, but you always have to be very careful with the undos and moving, because we've had an issue where one guy messed up with his undos and we had to do some stuff. I think it was something like War 1 or 2. So yeah, just be very mindful of that. There you can see I moved up to Killmonger, and then I'm back out and wait till the next morning. And the war is coming close to a close. We got Coop. He's hammering out this Killmonger with his Hercules. I put a health potion to top off into Torch. And I'm going to start putting my boost on. I put a special 3 defense boost on. I'm going to throw in an invulnerability boost on. I'm taking this Hyperion. Now, I was given the choice to use SorSupreme or Torch. And after SorSupreme, she does have some power control, but to me, it's just not good enough for a fight like this on Hype, especially when you don't want to stun, and I just think it could get out of control really easily. So I'm put on some big boosts, put on Invuln boost, special 3 boost. We're going with Torch. This is going to be similar to the Warlocks that I've taken. You know, I will be able to stun. I'm not going to be able to stun a lot just because this is Buddy Lee's Hype. He is going to get a lot of power gain. But when I can stun, I'm going to stun and do short combos. And then I'm going to block the specials to build up Smolder. And that's going to make sure my my Incinerates lasts as long as possible and just do more damage. So it's like 10% damage per Smolder extra. So I'm going to try to block as many. I'm hoping that this guy will throw. I don't want to get special 3. I don't want to accidentally parry while that stun shield is active. And there I was a little bit too far away, so I didn't waste my time blocking it there. We're going to block all those, counter, disable the shield. We're getting massive damage while he's stunned with that stun vulnerability. And I'm hoping that this guy would throw a special 2. And Buddy, I don't know what you did. You trained him well. He didn't. Luckily, I hadn't gotten hit yet, and I was trying to get another parry off. He throws the special 3, and that's what the Invuln boost was there for, plus the special 3 defense boost in case I had lost it earlier. And then we're just going to come out of this and throw our special 3, and he's dead. So I did have my flame on. I considered using it. I think it could have been helpful, but I wouldn't have been able to stun with the Nova Flames, although he would have taken a lot of sting damage. Which one was better? I don't know. Will I try it out? Maybe in the off season sometime, but yeah, Torch worked really well for that. And then I move up to the Penny, tag Coop. Coop nukes her down with Hercules. So we had him available since White Mags was banned, and did some work there. And then we got Jay Goody over on the left side taking out the Mangog with his Spider-Man 2099. Does a good job. Both of them take him down solos, and I apply my Icon's Ingenuity onto the boss, and this is Swedeah's Red Skull, and you can see the extra pre-fights on the fight from Sherry. He's like, hey, I'm gonna throw my War Machine pre-fights onto the fight, and we know they don't do anything because they only apply to tech champs, but he's like, maybe they'll think it's a White Max pre-fight and think that it's bugged or something. And I was like, okay, sure. I put on Mystic Boost. I put on a Power Start 1 boost, and that's just going to let me get the slow activated right at the start. Now he comes out with 5 armor ups. You can do a full combos until either one, the 10-second timer comes up where he's going to get another armor up, or you push him over special 1 or 1 bar. So every time he crosses a bar of power, whether special 1, special 2, hopefully never special 3, he'll get an armor up. Nullification on that special 1 allowed me to get a ton of power from Mystic Dispersion. My Mystic Dispersion on this fight is 5 out of 5. And then I get to special 3, and then I throw that while Icon's Ingenuity comes back up to purple power gain phase. That is going to allow me to get a slow on every special attack here on out. I don't want to hit into his block unless I have nullified all of his armors and I'm not pushing him over special. And I think at some point all of his armors will be gone from the aura. But I'm just never going to really need to do that. I'm going to try to always just bait his special 1. It's easy to get out of range from and counter. I think he's pretty stingy here at the first one. I think I end up getting pushed to special 3 again. So I'm still going to wait. Here we go. We throw it. We do throw it with the Fury phase up, Furiosity, which can do a decent amount of damage. We're not going to do a lot of damage quite yet. I think it was from 86 to what? 72, simply just because we didn't have a lot of runes banked up. But as long as he's throwing pretty quick, then we can also throw a bunch of specials really quick. We're going to get some power back, and then we can just block. We got the Rigador's Resolve, regen on block up, and yeah, I think I end up finishing this fight with full health. There you can see Mystic Dispersion going to work, and we're just going to spam specials. And preferably, we want to throw as many specials with the Fury phase up, but you know, I'm not going to try a heavy in this fight to switch the phases manually. I'm just going to throw what I got. And if I get it in the Fury phase like that, hopefully I can get some nice crits. Don't get any crits on that. We got 4 armor break stacks on him. Now if I were to throw a special 3 now, it probably would do a decent amount of damage with all of the ruins. But we're just going to keep throwing preferably special 2s. And getting pretty unlucky on the crits. But there we go. A 32k just medium crit to finish him off. So Swedeah's Red Skull goes down. Pretty simple and safe option there. And I give a little shout out to my battle group, and I'm like, go secure the donut. So up until this point, our battle group had not died, and we had a few fights left that we were just waiting for the boss to go down. I think I scanned through the map. They had died once to our battle group, so they're Poke McLeod, and I go over to Poke 17, and he's already on it. But we did finish with the donut, which was awesome. They did really well as well. I mean, they beat us on time, but when you beat on death, that's what all that matters. But then battle group 1 and 3 on both sides had quite a few deaths, but we came out with the victory, which is awesome. So we're super happy that we could take down DSVG, because they're a great war alliance. As far as my stats go, 6 fights, 6 kills, no deaths, 61 fights on the season, 61 kills, 2 deaths. We do move up 1 spot in Masters, so we're number 5 overall in the world, which is pretty dang cool, through 10 wars, and we're 7-3. So pretty solid season thus far that we're putting out. We're just doing our best to compete with whatever we get put up against. As far as item use, item use for this war it wasn't too bad. Couple green boosts, I boosted twice, and I used 2 power starts and 2 invulnerabilities and 2 special 3 defense boosts. But those were actually in the store that day, so that's why I just was feeling like using them on both times. A couple of the power back boosts, but I only had to use 2 health potions. One big one to put into Thing, and those were both for Torch. One because I got hit once on the Sasquatch, and then just to kind of top off for the hype after the Iron Man Infinity War. So not all. And then as far as my little war collage goes, we added 2 fights to Thing, 3 fights to Torch, and another to Sorcerer. So those are my most used attackers. And Red Skull. So Red Skull, I was going back through when I make all my images and everything. That was the very first time I've ever faced him in Alliance War. It was on that boss node, which was kind of interesting. And then just a little extended cut feature. Most won't find this fight too entertaining, but I loved it. So normally I get a lot of this ManThing action with Thing. I didn't have to take it today because they didn't ban Quake, and so Mirage Turtle, we put him on path 3, and he just quaked the whole path. It was really simple. I think there was several unstoppable armor champs on, but Quake just totally shuts them down. He has Liquid Courage and Double Edge on just to do extra damage. Put a regen boost on as well there to kind of offset some of that. And he just does a great job. Quake is definitely not my favorite champ, but it's always really nice when Quake can take out some more tricky fights that could potentially cause death, no matter who you use. And there's tons of options to use on this ManThing, but all of the options have ways where you can just make mistakes and die, especially with the unstoppable armor in play if you're not watching that carefully enough. This is a really tanky rank 4 ManThing, and when I think we scouted, it was also max MD. So Quake can doesn't look like actually max MD because he just dropped that heavy and it didn't push him to higher power. Looks like maybe 3 out of 5 MD, maybe. But regardless, Turtle does a great job quaking. He actually got the overall MVP for this war, and he took out a lot of stuff with Quake, which was a pleasant surprise since normally Quake is banned. So if they're not going to ban Quake, we're going to take our opportunities to use her. And this was not too terrible as far as fight time. This is just like over a 2-minute Quake fight, so that's not too bad. Got the class advantage as well, along with the Liquid Courage, Double Edge, damage masteries applied. So I just wanted to showcase that. Maybe you haven't seen a Quake fight in a long time, since she's probably been banned for all of you guys as well. And then a couple other fights that are a little bit more unique in the matchups that maybe I don't see as much. We have Demps going up on path 4. This is node 10. This has got the heal block to start, and then it's got the long distance relationship. So as you are close to them, you get those weakness debuffs, and it's got Steady Fury buildup. And then I think maybe, did I miss a node on this? I think when you have debuffs, you have reduced ability accuracy. I might have to go back and make sure I don't forget that, because I think I can't remember what it's called, but the more debuffs you have, your defensive ability accuracy is reduced. And Kitty's just a solid option for Korg. Can bypass the Thorns damage while phasing. Now he threw a special too. I think Demps was hoping that would kill him, just barely, not enough damage to do it. But gets it down. And then one more Kitty fight, moves up to this Longshot. It's got Ebb and Flow knockdown, Bubble Shield, and Power Focus 1 on node 19. And I think also in this fight he ends up knocking him down with a big, and then throwing a big special, and it just doesn't do quite enough damage to finish him off, thinking that it would. But yeah, Kitty's nice because she can just phase. You don't have to block a lot, especially when you have Tiger on the team at 10 plus prowess. You're fully unblockable, which is really nice. So he gets the one heavy knockdown, and he's about a third of the way through. Gets another knockdown, and I think he was hoping that this would kill. Not quite. And he was still unblockable. Could have, and maybe should have just thrown that because he was still unblockable, and still had the Fury from the Ebb and Flow knockdown still up. Heavies him, and then just ends it with a special 3. Special 3 animation's pretty dang cool if you ask me. Got the dragon Loki, or however you say his name, come in and burn him, gets the KO there. And then one last fight. I'm jealous of this fight because this is on node 30, Reinvigorated, Unblockable, Never Back Down, Indomitable. So if you like dash back twice, you get a regen buff activated on Apocalypse. But the regens and the prowess that he has, Nimrod just eats him up. I really wish my Nimrod wasn't on defense, but you know, it's there for the tactic. And I'm trying to think, I don't know that I gotten any kills with him. I mean, I don't really expect a lot of my defenders to get kills, although I've gotten 7. My defenders have picked up 7 deaths overall on the season thus far. But yeah, just want to showcase how juicy Nimrod is against pretty much any mutant. It's pretty cool. And then this was our last 2 fights on the map. McLeod was waiting for the boss to go down to take down the unstoppable armor. It's not unstoppable armor on this Magneto, but on the next fight there's a Moleman, and he goes in with Kingpin, and he's got a Kingpin and Hood on the team, so he can shrug off most of the debuffs that get applied from the hazard shift. And then just gotta make sure you don't parry and do massive damage off of, while under the stun. You can parry and hit while under stun. You'll get it reflected back, but as long as it's not like massive damage, you are okay. But McLeod's just playing the intercept game, getting off some specials. He does have skill power back boosts on and stuff for this fight and the next. Obviously for this fight it doesn't do anything because the power back boost, the class ones, do not work against the class disadvantage. Yeah, he's just spamming special ones and trying to get intercept off, and he's gonna finish him off right there. So nice takedown of Magneto. And then last up, he's gonna move up to Moleman. And oh yeah, I was trying to tell him like, hey, put on the Odins. He had an Odin like protection that he could have put on Kingpin, but he missed it. No big deal. And then he just needs to make sure he doesn't hit into the block. If he parries or puts a debuff on this guy, he'll get Monster Mass in there. And I also mentioned to him like, hey, you parried him and you didn't hit him. I think he was just a little bit hesitant because he didn't want to get the parry shrugged. But pretty much if he's under 4 or under on the Monster Mass, your parries will stick normally. It's only when he gets to 5 and above is when he shrugs it off faster, and that's kind of when you can get caught. And here you can see he's gonna throw a big special 2, get a bunch of power back, not quite enough for another one, but he uses the unstoppable to his advantage, and then gets back to another special 2, doesn't quite do it. Gonna bait the special, and there's no unstoppable armor on this fight because it's after the boss goes down. But yeah, McLeod does a great job, knocks out the last fight, and that did secure our donut. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. 2 wars left. I'll try to get out the next one maybe today, and then we're fighting Black as in War 12. So thanks and peace.